Florida thought it was just another Saturday. But then the ICE buses came. They didn't park. They surrounded. And within hours, over 1,800 people were detained right outside a Costco. One of the busiest shopping spots in the state had just become a federal extraction zone.
A massive immigration enforcement crackdown has led to hundreds of arrests in Florida in a matter of days. Immigration and Customs Enforcement posted on X that ICE Miami and Florida law enforcement arrested nearly 800 undocumented migrants in the first 4 days of their Operation Tidal Wave this week. In response, Governor Ron DeSantis posted that, quote, Florida is leading the nation in active cooperation with the Trump administration for immigration enforcement and deportation operations.
Eyewitnesses say the entire store flipped in minutes. Tactical agents, unmarked, armored, silent, fanned out across the aisles. IDs were demanded. Some shoppers froze mid-checkout. Others tried to slip away. Families separated in the bakery aisle. Children watched as loved ones were pulled toward the exits.
Morning, we're working to learn what's next after a major ICE raid in our state's capital. More than 100 people were detained there in Tallahassee. Homeland Security agents and more than 50 FHP troopers took part in this operation at a construction site near Florida State University. These are some of the pictures and video showing dozens of people there lined up with handcuffs and zip ties near new student housing development. The Department of Homeland Security says that this raid is part of an ongoing investigation.
Not all the detained were Costco staff. Some were third-party vendors, contract cleaners, truck drivers making morning deliveries. ICE didn't discriminate by role, just by record.
A man records, informing agencies doing so because they're on private property. It's a job site Jeb Schaefer of Schaefer Construction hired subcontractors to work on.
Like family to you. So it's very upsetting to see that.
Schaefer tells us federal agents took one of the workers away in handcuffs on Friday. We see the man wearing a white shirt being guided away by a federal agent.
I'm told that, yeah, he's lived in the United States for 15 years, this guy. And again, he's got a wife, he's got a kid.
Schaefer tells us his subcontractor is up against the wall in this video in a yellow shirt with federal agents standing in front of him. Then we see Schaefer coming into view, wearing a dark red collared shirt, filming and observing.
And he was trying to get, his guy's cell phone so that he could get it to his guy's wife.
He told everyone to pack up and go from the job site for the day after it all unfolded.
I'd like to find out what the circumstances were that, allowed them to come and take him, because I want to educate myself.
One man, a subcontractor who'd been in the U.S. for 15 years, was arrested outside. He didn't resist. Just asked someone to grab his phone so his wife would know where he'd gone.
Spoke with an immigration attorney who walks us through what to know when federal agents arrive on your private worksite, business, or home.
They have to have a warrant signed by a magistrate or a judge. And if they do not have a warrant signed by a magistrate or a judge, you do not have to let them in.
Immigration attorney Angel Leal tells us you can let federal agents in without showing a warrant. It's up to you as the business owner or homeowner. Once agents are in, Leal says you have the right to remain silent.
Part of your right to remain silent is not standing where they tell you to sign if you happen to be undocumented, because that's a form of expression.
And he adds everyone has the right to speak to an attorney first.
Stay calm, do not resist, invoke your constitutional rights. Everyone in this country, independent of their immigration status, has their constitution.
ICE framed it as a routine operation. The governor praised it. But online, it's being called something else, a public ambush.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Madison Sheehan, the ICE Deputy Director. It's really an honor to be able to be here today with all of you to highlight the success of this historic operation Operation Tidal Wave, which was created in partnership with the state of Florida and ICE. Since January 20th, President Trump has made a commitment to the American people to prioritize public safety as well as national security. And everything we do at ICE is to prioritize those things. And this operation really is a historic marker of success that was made possible because of the partnership with the state of Florida, allowing us to activate our 287G officers and activating over 250 local and state law enforcement as well as National Guard to assist our federal partners. And I want to thank Governor DeSantis for his commitment to be able to put this operation on for the last week. And together we are able to conduct over 1,100 arrests.
Community leaders are asking how this could happen without a warrant, without notice, without local input. And yet it did, in full daylight, with full force.
And remove several violent gang members from the communities here in Florida. Operation Tidal Wave is truly a first of its kind operation, utilizing 287G resources, integrating with the state and local law enforcement to assist in the day-to-day ICE mission. While this may be the first 287G operation of its kind, thanks to the governor, it's not going to be the last.
Some families were torn apart. Others were taken together. Names weren't always verified. Detainees weren't always allowed to speak.
17-year-old Nori Santoy Ramos, an honor student and track star at Miguel Contreras High School, was deported with her mother to Guatemala on July 4th. Nori's cousins here in Los Angeles grew up with her and are having a hard time speaking about her deportation.
How do you feel about the fact that she's gone? What kind of goes through your mind when you think about it?
The family says Nori and her mother came to the U.S. 10 years ago as asylum seekers. Nori was just 6 years old. She spoke to us on the phone from Guatemala.
I feel really sad because I was hoping to graduate with my friends and be there with them doing track and field. It's really I didn't expect this.
Nori says she and her mother were detained at their immigration appointment.
As news of the raid spread, protests erupted, some peaceful, others tense. In multiple cities, crowds formed around ICE facilities, demanding answers.
The neck during the attack, an Alvarado, Texas police officer.
Attack on my department, attack on our city, attack on our community. It's an attack on the rule of law.
A similar shooting happened days later at a Border Patrol facility in McAllen, Texas. And yesterday, near a farm northwest of Los Angeles, protesters clashed with officials as masked federal agents conducted raids at a Camarillo cannabis farm. Some protesters hurled rocks at ICE vehicles, officials seen setting off smoke canisters and irritants to disperse the crowd. The FBI is now offering a $50,000 reward for information on a person who officials say appeared to fire a gun at law enforcement. On the farm, dozens of men sat against a wall, detained.
They are hard workers. They come here at 5 in the morning and they hustle. And so right now, we don't know the status of a lot of those people.
The raid is the latest effort in the Trump administration's immigration crackdown across Southern California.
Civil rights groups say what happened at Costco is part of a larger pattern, targeting public, high-visibility spaces. And in response, lawsuits are already being drafted.
For a second day in a row, protesters took to the streets to speak out against the Trump administration's immigration policies. And this comes after ICE got additional funding and the big, beautiful bill, and after a new ICE detention center opened in the Everglades this week. CBS News Miami's Steve Majuri was there.
Protesters lined up outside of the Broward Transitional Center, which is where Marie Blaze died while in ICE custody back in April. Immigration officials say the 44-year-old Haitian woman had entered the U.S. without permission. The cause of her death is under investigation.
And we want to make sure those things don't happen again to our children, to other immigrants. We want to make sure those things are preventable.
Democratic Congresswoman Sheila Sheffilis McCormick attended the protest. She says she wants a hearing to find out why Blaze died.
We also need to take a good look at what's going on within the facilities. Right after she died, I came to this facility and we looked at it and we tried to speak to some of the medical personnel, and they were very invasive. And they said that they would be providing us with information that we still have not received.
The streets of Florida are now filled with more than just outrage. There's fear Fear that tomorrow it might be a school, a church, a bus stop.
Pierre helped organize the protest. She feels that immigrants are being treated unfairly.
What they're doing is not about enforcing the rules. It's about, belittle, the immigration communities, and it's about, we've been bullied.
The protesters here were also speaking out against the new ICE detention facility down in the Everglades that's being called Alligator Alcatraz. It was put together in about 8 days, and the first group of migrants were sent to the facility this week. Elena Munoz says the facility is inhumane since it's surrounded by alligators and pythons.
It's the worst thing for many, many things. First, the facilities are not, first, it shouldn't be in that land, first of all. Second, it's not a safe place.
On top of all of this, ICE got a big funding boost yesterday when the president signed his big, beautiful bill into law. The bill adds a combined $75 million for new ICE agents and for building more detention facilities. In Pompano Beach, Steve Magiri, CBS News, Miami.
Costco's shelves were restocked, but the trauma lingers. Hundreds vanished in hours, and what many assumed could never happen in plain sight just did. This wasn't just a raid, it was a warning. The only question now, who's next? Sound off in the comments. Was this justice or something else entirely? Share this before it disappears from the feed. Subscribe, because this story is only just beginning.